back to the Muslim Street. That was a song by Carlos Santana and Everlast, Put Your Lights On. An interesting song there. And Carlos Santana, of course, very well known, and Everlast, who is a musician that converted to Islam in the 1990s. So we wanted to play that song for you guys. Today, you know, as it is February, it is Black History Month in the United States and some other countries around the world as well. February was chosen to be Black History Month by Carter G. Woodson, who was an NAACP leader and legendary historian of Black American history. He chose it specifically because it coincides with the births of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. And then this is in the 1920s. And then, of course, in 1965, Malcolm X as well died in February. So there's so many topics revolving around Black history and specifically with the United States in February. Today, Malik and I are very happy to have on the show with us both Okolo, Rashid, and Emad Al-Turk. They are co-founders of the only Muslim museum in the United States, and it's in Jackson, Mississippi. It's called the International Museum of Muslim Cultures. We have with us Okolo Rashid, who is the woman behind the museum. Yeah. She's also the executive director, as well as the chairman and the other co-founder, Emad Al-Turk, who is a businessman from Jackson, Mississippi. We're very happy to have them both on the show with us. Welcome, Emad and Okolo.
Thank you for having us.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you both for joining us today on the show, and thank you, Malik, for setting this up for us. Malik, you want to go ahead and introduce your...
Yeah, I think as we talk about the Muslim Museum, its project, its scalability, its meaning as we define Islam moving forward in the United States, this project is awesome. It has many phases to it as Muslims define themselves from a historical perspective, and also introduce Islam and Muslims to the American society and to the West. It's projects like the Muslim Museum that are going to be these watershed projects that are going to usher the type of information and intellect and understanding of Islam into the West, and particularly the United States. Emad and Okolo, very interesting combination. Emad, a Palestinian-American who migrated here years ago to do his studies. Okolo Rashid, a Muslim, long-term Muslim involved in the Black liberation struggle as they began to overturn Jim Crow in the South in the 1960s and 1970s. Came together on this project. Can Okolo talk a little bit about how the project just came about, its inception?
Well, thank you very much, Malik. Both of you, we are really, appreciative for having the opportunity to share this wonderful, story of the International Museum of Muslim Cultures in American culture. I want to first, before I answer that, Malik, I wanted to clarify something. We opened the museum in April 2001, and we were indeed the first and only Islamic history and culture museum in the country. However, last year, we do have another Islamic museum in Washington, D.C. It's called the American Heritage Museum, started by Amir Muhammad and his wife. So I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge
Thank you, Okolo. Thank you. Our bad right there.
Amir Muhammad, what a great book he has out on Muslims in America is the title. You should pick that up, and the audience should pick that up. Excellent piece.
Yeah, and he had a traveling exhibition at the time that we opened the museum. So I just wanted to make sure we acknowledge the great work that they're doing. His wife, Hanifa, she works at the Smithsonian Museum as well. So just to talk a little bit about, the International Museum of Muslim Cultures here in Jackson, Mississippi, the effort actually got started, I guess you might say, not expectedly. It was nothing that we just kind of sit down and said, we in America need this wonderful museum, but really it evolved from what I consider an activist moment. We here in Jackson, Mississippi, knew that this much larger exhibition was coming to town. This was a huge exhibition called the Majesty of Spain. It was an exhibition that was a multi-million-dollar exhibition. It was being promoted across the country as the #1 must-see exhibition in the country. And, we just expected that, this exhibition was going to, talk about the great and significant contributions that Muslims made to Spain. But as the exhibition, this Majesty of Spain exhibition, as it became closer, it was about 4 months out, maybe 5 months out, we started to notice that this exhibition, they weren't going to even cover the period that we're talking about, that Islam made its significant contributions. This exhibition was actually going to start 1756 and come forward. The contributions that Islam made to the Renaissance of Europe by bringing the ideas of education, scholarship, science, technology, and learning to Europe by way of Spain actually started in the 700s, 711. And so we then knew and realized that this major exhibition that was coming to Jackson, Mississippi, was going to miss all of the contributions that Islam had made to the Renaissance of Europe. So thus we got very active and involved in trying to see, well, maybe they would allow us to, partner with them. Let's do a theme, on the contributions of Islam to Spain. But what happened is that they were really not interested. They just wanted to do that European history. They were not interested in the Islamic contributions. And so we knew that we were not going to just allow them to tell part of the story. We felt that it was very necessary that the whole story of the glories of Spain be told. And so that's what really led us into creating this. Initially, we were just going to be creating an exhibition to talk about the Islamic contributions, which was called Islamic Moorish Spain, its contributions to the Renaissance of Europe is the exhibition that we were, that we premiered and opened. And we thought we were just going to, have an exhibition that was going to, be a companion to their exhibition. But once we launched our exhibition at the time that this major exhibition came to Jackson, they were actually expecting 1 million people to come to Jackson from across the country and around the world to visit their exhibition. They didn't get 1 million people, but they did get 600,000 people came to Jackson, Mississippi, more than